Hello, and welcome to an all-new episode of Men and Women Talk, the Mars Venus Show. I am one of your hosts, Kente, all the way live from Los Angeles, California, and I'm so happy to be here with you fine people. I had a wonderful weekend. My Raiders won, so always good when my Raiders win.
Yeah, the Raiders.
That's right. And so I'm doing good personally, and my Dodgers won. So that's cool. And I'm here with the wonderful, beautiful, talented, always smiling Rasheem. How you doing, Rasheem? I love that. I gave her such a great intro, and it was like, no. That's funny. We're going to do that one all over again. Hilarious. All right, so while we're waiting to get Rasheem back, and I'm going to introduce my guest in a minute. Of course, we love participation with the show, and one of the ways you can participate is you can go to our website, that is indyradio.org. That's indyradio.org, or you can go to firetalk.com, and you can see us live on video as well. You can come in the chat and ask us questions. We will answer them the best way possible. Also, we take call-in. And our calling number is 323-522-4601. Once again, that number is 323-522-4601. Another way that we want you to get at us is through social media. There's many ways to do that. You can get to us on Twitter, as well as you can get us on Facebook at / Mars Venus Podcast, or you can join our group at facebook.com /groups / Mars Venus Show. So let's see if we got Rasheem back. There we go. Okay, here we go. So how are you doing? How was your weekend, Rasheem?
It was pretty good. I had a scary and exciting time earlier today. I was teaching my godson to drive in my car.
Wow.
He's 15.
Okay. Are you a good driver?
Listen, I don't have a lot of tickets. I'm not going to say that all of that is because I'm a good driver, but
I don't have a lot of tickets.
I don't have most of my tickets are parking tickets. That's my issue, parking.
Have you ever gotten out of a ticket by smiling at the officer?
I don't know if I got out of it by smiling at the officer, but I have gotten out of a ticket. I don't know if it was because I smiled at him or not. I don't know. I think he just felt like being nice. So he gave me a warning.
So I never had no police officers be nice to me. So
Never have.
living in your world, right, where the police officers I'm glad that you were here. This is week 3 of you being the brand new, spanking new co-host on the show. So far, so good. I'm very happy to have you aboard. Last week's show was amazing, as well as the first week. I'm looking forward to tonight. So let's get to our guests. We have 2 wonderful guests. One is a returning champ, and one is brand new to the show. We're going to start off always with the ladies. We have Angie from Black Love United. How you doing, Angie?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I'm so glad. I've been wanting to have you on my show since the first time I met you on Blab, and this was the very topic that I remember pitching to you then on that night I met you on Blab. So give us a quick rundown about yourself as well as Black Love United.
My husband and I have a marriage group called Black Love United, just kind of targeting inner city African American couples, because most of the time we don't see positive images of Black marriages, and you see that there's other couples that go through some stuff that are Christian based, that we make it happen, that we're not perfect, but we all try to succeed. And if you want successful marriages, you have to hang around successful people, or people like-minded people. So we can be a little bit controversial, I guess. I don't know if you saw the balloon game we did, but we had people saying that Christians shouldn't show affection like that and things of that nature. But, I really believe that if more marriages show affection, Christians, you wouldn't have so much infidelity outside of the church. And so, like sex and stuff in church is a taboo subject. So we're the couple that people bring to their church and to their couples ministry to be that edgy push that they need.
If you guys haven't seen the balloon game, let's see. Do I have
It's Black Love United. Yes, it's pinned to the top of the page. It went viral. It's like 3 million views.
There you go. That's it. So you guys can take a quick look and tell us what you think about the balloon. So
are we gonna be a heathen to the group then?
No.
We have 5 children, and like Rasheen, I have triplets that are 16. So when you're talking about scary, driving my brand new truck, yes. You have 1, I have 3 that I have to let drive every day.
Wow.
All right. So also joining us, our returning champ. I love this guy, cool brother. Welcome back to the show, Pat Murphy.
Hey.
And so tell us a little bit about yourself for those who may not have caught you before, and tell us about the concept.
Sure. I'm actually a certified life coach, and I specialize in relationships, and I actually have a new book that's coming out called The Poor Wooden Fence, recovering from relationship breakups and divorce. I also do trainings on Sunday evenings at a fairly large church in a program that's called the DSE, which stands for Divorce and Separation Care. So I actually help to intervene and teach skill sets that leads to divorces and things of that nature. And also the Conflicts of Life is our Facebook page where we have about 270,000 followers right now. And, we try to encourage relationships to be strong. And I started just recently doing videos on different issues. One that people liked recently is Married Man with Playboy Eyes. So
Hey, what?
I also did a video that people, one about why husbands and boyfriends have no problem leaving their children. That's pretty interesting. You want to learn some education as to the motivation of why people do what they do, not just that it happens.
Well, thank you guys for being here, and also too a little bit really soon we're going to be doing a special interview with Pat Murphy and his wife about their book that they just did. So looking forward to that. That's really cool. So now, just as some disclosure, I am the only person on this panel who is not married. But everybody else on this show is married, and I'm sure happily married, of course. And so today the topic is called Christian sex. How far can we go? Mm-hmm. And the reason why we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, not just sex, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is I don't know if you know about this term called a new Christian. Right? That is somebody who is not just they just turn to Christianity, but they get real fundamental about their beliefs, right? So what happens is they become very, very like everything's a sin, right? Everything becomes a sin. Chewing bubble gum is dang near a sin. you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And a lot of people get like that. And one thing that gets talked about too is they start feeling because I'm a Christian that I can't enjoy my sex life like maybe someone who's not a Christian. Now we're talking about, obviously we're going to be talking about in terms of a committed relationship of marriage, but so we're going to talk about that in depth about can Christians have as healthy a sex life as those who are not of the faith, and we're going to talk about that. But before we get there, I want to first start off. In order to get to a point where you're married, right, you have to date and then court as well. And for some people of faith, they have a hard time courting, especially in 2016, right? So I wanted to go to you guys because you guys are experts and kind of talk about your experiences, because you guys were both of faith when you guys courted your mates, right? Your eventual mates.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, so So I'm gonna start off with you, Pat. The dating process for you, as a man of faith, the person who would later become your wife. What were some things that you kept in mind trying to keep your faith as well as date your wife, or who would become your wife?
What's interesting, I actually used to be a youth pastor up at the Potter's House. And so I had about 200 students on average, 150, 200 students in my class every Sunday, and including Emmett Smith's daughter. She was in my class. I didn't know who she was. My current wife's son was in my class. I didn't know who he was. I met her because she was actually teaching on the other side, and we were just buddies at the time. So we were never, into each other, because I was actually married prior to this marriage for 27 years before that one abruptly ended. And so that introduced me to a whole different world of something I'll say for another time. But the point is that when I met her, or let me backtrack because this is very important. I share this with a lot of men who ask me about women. When I went through my divorce process, I never dated after. I never did. Never did. And here's the reason why. Because number one, I wanted to get myself healthy so that I can be a good husband to the next person I was going to be involved with. One of the things that men say is, the best way to get over some old booty is to get some new booty. You know what I mean? But the problem is that all you're doing is hopping from bed to bed, but you're not healing. So I wanted to heal through the process. So long story short, the reason why, and I had a lot of female friends, some of them are models, I knew a lot of female friends. So I never dated any of them, but I dated this one for one reason, because even though we were friends, distant friends, I always watched how she behaved around other guys. And this is very key. She had integrity. And so I watched her character and her integrity, and I noticed how well she kept herself in a modest order. And that was very attractive to me because, like I tell guys, listen, pretty is everywhere. You got women here on the screen who's pretty. So pretty is everywhere. That's a dime a dozen. So what else do you have to offer? Are you tossing your behind up like a Frisbee to any guy who's coming along who's saying that you're cute? Or do you have the restraint to hold yourself back and some integrity behind yourself to say, hey, you know what? I have something of quality and I'm willing to give it to a person who also have quality to give back to me. Do you have a servant's heart? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I look at the character of a woman. I don't look at her prettiness because, again, I'm not being funny, but pretty is everywhere nowadays.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting though that you value character, and I always believe it's all about what you value the most, right? And like a lot of times, like a Frisbee, right? I like that. Like a lot of times when people talk about what they're looking for in a mate, character is usually like maybe the fourth or fifth thing that people mention. Very
Correct.
Rarely do you hear people, mention that they're looking for someone of character, of substance, and I think you get what you get. Like if you value things like, if you don't value things like that, then when the person is of low character, how are you going to complain, right? That's not what
But here's the problem. The problem is that, and this is where my coaching comes in, people enter into relationships for the wrong reason and they exit out for the right reasons. Let me give you what I mean. They enter in because of, being sexually attracted. Oh, this person looks really nice. This person looks cute. Oh, I'm attracted to this person. Okay, that's a physical attribute. Everything is external. But then when you start breaking up, now you start looking at the things that really affect the person due to their internals. Well, see, I'm going to start with the internals before I look at the externals.
Okay. Now, let's talk about you, Miss Angie. So when you met your husband, who would become your husband, and you guys courted, what was that process like?
I don't know if you tell everybody about me, but I'm very, 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 very honest. Okay, so I was unsuccessful in being a Christian dater. I was having sex and repenting every Sunday. Yes, that was me. Okay, so, at one point I was like, look, I'm not going to be a girlfriend forever. I got to get my life together. I got a calling, got purpose, and I'm failing at it. I suck at this. I don't do well. I like sex, and I like you. So either I'm going to be your wife or I'm going to just have to, move on because it's not working because I'm attracted to you. So I failed at dating. I can't teach singles retreats and ministries. People ask me all the time. I failed at it. I like sex. I had sex. So I can't tell you what I know what the Bible tells you to do. I didn't do that. I didn't pass the test. I failed it.
I appreciate your honesty.
I really love this. Boy, the girl can't tell the truth.
Yeah, I'm not a sugarcoater, and that's why we do couples counseling and ministry, and I give it to you 100 because we've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. Sorry.
So
I don't have a good. Let me ask you. I don't have a good church answer for you.
That's good. I mean, that's like the answer I would give. So that's real though. But see though, a lot of times though, we get those who now they're married, they're living, they're Christian, and now they want to act like they ain't never done nothing before.
Yep.
Well, this is the only thing I would say is that I tell people now, I know the pitfalls that I fell into, saying that we could be together late at night and watch a movie and nothing's going to happen. Or we can cuddle, or we can kiss by ourselves in the house alone and the music low and nothing's going to happen because, Jesus going to keep me. Bye. No, you're not. Your behind going to start thumping, stuff going to start happening, and then you're going to be like, I don't know how he fell in there, and I'm not going to do it again. So don't be in the house by yourself with him. Go on a public date, go with some people. Don't be doing that doggone tongue kissing, because what's going to happen is some other stuff going to start twitching, and you're going to be saying you sorry too. So I'm just saying, avoid the pitfall. I can tell you the pitfalls to avoid. So yes, I didn't pass, but I know when I got myself aroused, it's very, very, very difficult to jump back off that cliff once you done got in the air. When you free falling, you're gonna be like, I might as well go on and fall all the way in. I'm sorry, that's that.
Right. No, that's the truth. I'm curious, Pappy. Have you ever dated, and how do you feel about this? You're married now, but have you ever dated in the past a woman who, back in the day, she was,
ratchet.
She was putting it in. She was putting it in. She was living her sexual, life, getting it in. Like, super extra grown woman getting it in. And she got born again.
Yes. Jesus
right?
got her.
Before y'all started dating. And so all of these other dudes got super, super extra sexualized, sexually free, and she got with you. And this is the moment where she is going to give her life over to Jesus and she is born again. How do you handle and how do you feel about that?
I think that it's not about what other people's perceptions is of you. I think you have to make your own decision for yourself. Does that make sense? Because again, your body belongs to you. You came out the womb with your body, and you have to make a choice about what's going to go on with your body. So just as well as your beliefs. So if your beliefs change and that also coincides with what you're going to do with your body, then whether people agree with you or disagree really is of no consequence. Does it make sense? So
now, that makes sense in general. But my question is to you in terms of dating.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. My wife, who I'm married to now, this is years and years and years ago before I came on the scene. She was actually dating. She was in a long-term relationship years and years and years before us. But she had told me that that's exactly what happened to her. She was actually they was in a relationship. They lived together and everything else. And she wasn't saved at the time, right? She wasn't saved. So she had told me once she decided to change her life and she actually gave her life to God, she actually had put the clamps down and actually ended the relationship, and so they ended up breaking up over that. You ain't
asking the right question. You ain't answering. You ain't hear what she's saying. She's saying, have you ever had a chick that was ratchet and she got saved? She was nasty and freaky with everybody else, and then when she got with you, she wanted to be doing it missionary only. That's what she's trying to ask. You answering another question. She asking you whether she ever freak with everybody else.
Well, see,
she get mad. You don't look like you're a dating ratchet.
I can give you that bingo. See, that's the
child. That's my husband.
Trying to tell dude, don't sit there fooling around with these kind of chicks in the first place.
I was her.
Not you.
Not you.
Hold on, not you. Not you.
I'm telling you, I was her. I'm a preacher's kid, born and raised in the church, and I was ratchet.
You was a PK, huh?
Still a PK. I'm a minister now, and I was ratchet.
But here's the thing. See, here's the problem. A lot of guys can answer that question because they choose women who are out there, and then when they make a change, now they have to change. And what happens is, oftentimes, they don't like women who change. I like them when they ratchet, using that term. I like them ratchet. So if she straightens up, that takes away his freakiness.
No, but it does not. Because I'm saying you can be, ratchet we use in the street because you're saying that she's usually sexually active, she's usually more free, kind of wild, whatever. I'm more freaky with my husband because I ain't worried about him going with nobody else. We could from the window to the wall.
But see, here's what I'm saying. You can talk to the point of what I'm saying. Did you marry the same dude you was fooling with?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
No, but I had a bunch of them too. Now I had a bunch.
But here's what I'm saying. A lot of times, and I'm just speaking from a dude's perspective.
I'm sorry.
If she freaking and if she wild and she doing her thing, she dressing half naked, and because listen, even when she's in public and she's dressed half naked and she's walking down the street with her dude, that's actually a compliment to him. We call him arm jury. So he's walking down the street with his arm jury. So she freaking in the bed, she wearing sexy clothes in public. So his homeboys, his partners, everybody love her because man, she hot trot. Now all of a sudden she done threw up her hands and surrendered to God, praise the Lord, and all this kind of stuff. Okay, that messes up his whole game. I mean, completely. So now she dresses modestly, so that kills off him showing her off in public as his arm jury. She ain't freaking in the bed because now all of a sudden, she's repenting after sexual activity, which this brother ain't saved himself. So
I don't know what Christian women y'all dealing with.
I'm just saying, this is what happens with a lot of dudes who they see their woman make a transition from being freaky to being saved. Now he don't know what to do with that.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like what about that old adage, a woman in the street and
I
a
agree
freak
with
in the
that
bed?
200%.
Is that what you?
Yeah, I'm married to one. Hey.
Wait, I see a little light with Pappy over there. I see a little light.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, if you guys want to check her out, she's fabulous, by the way. Go on her Facebook page. She actually motivates people internationally, and she has a new book coming out that we were talking about, Kente. Her name, go to her Facebook page. Is Conversations with Sagacity. Sagacity is like Saga City, Sagacity. You'll see it. Beautiful. She is beautiful.
You should put the link in, Pappy.
Awesome. Well, I'll put that. Oh, yeah. Okay. On Facebook.
They want you to define what's your definition of freaky?
What's up? My definition of freaky? Huh? What's my definition of freaky? Let me give it to you biblically first. It says the bed is undefiled, but to a brother, listen. Here's how I go. Whatever y'all agree to, it's all good. If you want to hang from chandeliers, if you want to pump from the back, from the front, so like a shotgun shot, who cares? Because again, long as you guys are happy in that relationship, I'm cool with it. Here's the thing. Let me say this. This real talk. Let me just say this real quick, okay? What I don't like about the churchified folk is that, they do all this hooping and hollering and saying what they won't do in a relationship because, hey, the Bible says it, and they're quoting all these scriptures. But oftentimes, I'm just being real. When I have to deal with them due to relationship breakups and divorce, here's what happens. That same dude who was trying to act all high and pious in front of everybody else turns around and started cheating with a ratchet chick. So hold on, brother. Why don't you just, get down in your own bed sheets with your own woman instead of trying to act all sedity in this relationship, and then you cheated with the chick who you talked about. Come on now.
Maybe his wife ain't giving the freak at home. No, maybe maybe she, she done turned. She down there wearing some white stockings and some old platform church shoes, nursing shoes.
Yeah, them old nursing shoes. Mm-hmm. Looking like you're gonna heal
somebody. I want to know why you can't have why she can't be arm candy when you get married though.
Why she can't be candid?
No, arm candy. You said she's arm candy when you date it. Now she's no longer that. When I go out with my man, I'm wearing, if you like them tight jeans on my butt, that's what I'm going to wear.
See, that's my point. See, here's my thing. That's y'all's get down. See, what I'm saying is that I think that when people get saved, a lot of times, and there is a limitation. I'm not saying there shouldn't be, but I'm saying that I think people limit it too much. You went from wearing, some thigh-high boots and looking real sexy, had your hair done all the time. Now all of a sudden you're getting saved. You just looking like, you just got baptized.
You right. I'm with you with that.
Come on now. Because this brother, listen, I'm going to tell you, Christian or no Christian, I don't care. And he'll tell you, I'm telling the truth. A man is still going to be a man. He got eyes. Whether he in the church, out of the church, he's a peeper. He wants to see. And the best way that his woman,
He said a peeper.
a peeper, you know what I mean?
You and your terminology, I gotta keep this stuff.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. The thing is that if she has the ability to be, you know, she could be sanctified, but she doesn't have to lose her ability to capture his attention.
To be freaktified.
Yeah, freaktified. There you go. See, there you go. We're gonna create a whole dictionary.
So what makes sex Christian sex? Just the two people being Christian?
See, I don't believe in that. I don't believe
You
in
don't
that. Where did
believe
that
in
come
what?
from? Christian
Well,
sex.
Well, the name of the show is Christian Sex.
I understand, but it's called sex. And you
No,
can
when I say Christian sex, it's not because it's a real thing. I think this is a thing that people believe, that there's a segment of Christians who believe that once you become a Christian, that your sex life can be awesome with your wife or your husband, because somehow, you know, doing certain things is not godly. So
exactly.
It's unwritten
that's
rules.
the thing, right? That kind of unwritten rules. Like, oh, what, you're doing this? You know, you're doing this, that, and the third with your wife or your husband. Oh, that's not Christian. So you can be a Christian and have a bomb sex life, right? So,
I like that question there.
Say Steph's question.
Yeah. So Steph's question. Yeah, I like that question.
Stephanie says, why is there so much focus on women not being enough in the bedroom? There are plenty of men that can't get it up, gain weight, and let themselves fall apart.
Kente, you got some good people on there. That's the truth. Oh, I'm sorry. Girl, you got a funny face.
My face,
Go ahead, Angie.
I think because men are visual. They are visual. They first thing they see is whatever they like. If they're a breast man, they're a butt man, whatever they like, it's long hair, they are visual. So oftentimes women get in the church, and not just in the church, I'm going to at least not even put it there. They get married or get with somebody and they just kind of like let themselves go. They don't put forth the effort they did. They're not dressing up. They're not putting no makeup. And so because men are visual, there's always somebody want to see what you got. So somebody at work got on a short dress and big booty walking by. They always, oh, you look so nice. You so this, you so that. There's always somebody trying to get in where they fit in. So the effort is, now, there's some men that are dogs and that's hoes and they gonna just cheat because they want to. But sometimes we open the door. I have a rule in my house. I've never told my husband no. I don't care if we mad. I do not tell him no. You get it from the back. We ain't got to talk. But I don't send him out in the world dry and wanting some. And then it's some chick that's gonna try to get it to him. So at least I did my part. I ain't got nothing to do with it. If you make those decisions, that's something you got to handle with God. But I don't tell him no. You better mount up, homie. We ain't got to talk about that.
See, I like that. She on point. See, that's why y'all together.
Yep, and we have fun together. Yes, we have fun together.
See,
does y'all want to tell you no?
Child, please. I'll jump on him. We play hide and go get it. Butt naked hokey pokey. Child, we play games in this house.
Butt naked hokey pokey.
Butt naked twister. Yes, honey. We keep it live over here.
Yeah, I got a few games too.
But see, I agree with you.
What you got? What you got? What you got?
What? I got a whole bunch. Like I got
some
like
games
literal
too.
games, like rolling dice games.
Oh,
I can break them.
Look! I'm saying, look, don't make me pull these dice out of this drawer. Hit them glow in the dark ones, baby.
I got dice, cards.
But most of the time we don't make it. We don't make it, child. It'd be too bad. By the time, okay, that's too long.
I have never made it to the end of any of those games.
And we don't do well. That's what happens when you keep your relationship alive and keep it sexy.
Yeah.
And you don't get you start off with good intentions. By the end, you lose your mind. You were like, that's my baby. I know he finna lay it down. I ain't got to teach him what to do. I ain't got to give him no air traffic controllers. He already know where to go, what to do. We got this. And then we ain't got to do no marathon all night. We can go to bed after.
That's pricey.
Well trained.
I'm trained too in that case. Hey.
At the beginning of the show, you referenced this the balloon game, and I want you to kind of, I'm gonna put the link in for those who didn't see who didn't catch it, and it's in the show notes as well. But I want you to talk about the balloon game, Angie, and then talk about the backlash you got from it.
All right, so we have couples events, and we usually do it at different people's houses, and it's so that you can have fun. We tend to get caught up in everyday life, logistics of life, bills, and picking up the kids and work, but we forget to date and have fun with each other. So this is when we get together with other couples, and we play games. Like we have an orange game where we start off with the orange between and both the stomachs together, and you have to get it to your neck. I would post that, but I was banned posting that game because by the end, my husband pushed my head down and it looked real nasty and awkward. But it's a game to get the orange underneath somebody's neck. And of course, it's always the woman because the man ain't going to be doing the whole thing. It's the woman that looks like that. But it's a fun game. You have to work together. So it's teaching you teamwork and it's fun. It ain't really sexual, but it just looks sexual. Yeah. But the balloon game is where you get a bag of balloons. Both teammates have a balloon. Like, just say if it was you and your husband and me and my husband, and we would race to see. Like, my husband was behind me. He has to pop as many balloons as he can on me. Now, that game we had where you had to put the balloon around you and then you had to pop them. Well, you know, balloons don't always pop, so you're like thrusting hard and everybody's laughing. It's just so much fun. And when so this video I posted was over a year ago, and I was sick. And I was like, I really was asking God, okay, what do you want me to do? Give me guidance about the group. I was getting frustrated about some stuff. And he told me to post this video. And I was thinking like, but it was the one with me in it. And it was me and a friend of mine. So I knew that it was cool because we have everybody else, but I don't put people out there like that because a lot of church people are like, oh my God, I don't want my church people to see me like that. Well, my church people know me. I'm all the way live. So I posted a video and it went viral within like 2 days. And I started to get people that knew me, that grew up with me, and some that didn't, that said, this is an abomination to the body of Christ. This is, what is the other word? They use a whole bunch of words. And I said, why is a couple having fun together and playing a game about balloons and showing that marriage can be fun, abomination? And they said, once I became a minister, then I should have put away those things and be careful of what I put out. But I didn't have to get them. I had a new following base on my page. And when I tell you it was attacked so bad that a couple of people took their comments down themselves because they had like 4,000 comments to them. Like, you just need some, you old prude. It went way left. But that's the kind of attack. I mean, we got more positive than negative, but it was, as Christians, we shouldn't be showing this kind of stuff.
So basically, do you think that most of those people were just they wish they had the sex life that you had?
Yes, and on some, but some of them are just old school. And I'm old school in principle, but I do believe that my parents have been married for 55 years. But there's good in that. But what I tell my parents is that I never saw my parents fuss or have any disagreements. Well, that caused me to be married more than once because when we had a disagreement, I felt like, oh, this can't be God. This can't be right because my parents never fussed. Well, that's not true. And then the other side of that was, you learn how, everything that was done back in the day is not necessarily godly or the right way. And Song of Solomon is a book about sex and nipples and everything else that we just skip over. We don't have families, like the only time they talk about marriage in church is in a couple's ministry. Why?
Yep.
Marriage is in the Bible. You can preach about everything else, but about family and structure. It's important for my children to see me and my husband love on each other. They like, oh, my mom always twerking on my daddy. Yes, and when you get a husband, you can twerk on yours. Oh, we around here all the way live. And when people say, "Oh my God, you didn't bring your kids," yes, because their friends gonna tell them stuff too, but they know the truth because we talk to them about that stuff. We are candid and we show that marriage has ups and downs, but hey, we still love each other.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's amazing? It's because people complain about, the type of sex that you can and can't have, and they put all these restrictions in a marriage situation, but then you, the same one who's out there cheating on your spouse and doing some of the freakiest things known to man with somebody else that don't belong to you at the club, making it.
So tell me this, if you are married and you invite another person into your bedroom that person has agreed upon, why is that not okay if both married people agree on it?
Because the Bible talks about a relationship, the husband and wife being fornication, it's adultery. You know what I'm saying? Because when it's a union between this man and this woman. Now, bed being undefiled is whatever you guys agree to, but you can't bring another person in because that's a different sin.
Here's the thing that people don't understand. If you ever look in the Bible, because we're talking about Christian sex, if you ever look in the Bible, the first institution that God actually established himself was the marriage institution. In other words, the first business that he set up was the institution of marriage. So even though you can make the bed undefiled, meaning, hey, have a good time. It's your body and her body. Y'all rub a dub and do your thing. But the truth of the matter is there's certain limitations when you invite other people into that. That, whether you approve of it or not, has nothing to do with your personal approval. Whether you both give 2 thumbs up, at the end of the day, it's called a threefold cord for a reason. Because you got your husband, you got your wife, and you have God. So you still have to abide by his laws within the marriage relationship. And what did he say as far as his laws? As long as it's just the husband and the wife together, y'all can do whatever you want. But you're not permitted to bring other people into the relationship. That's where I will overrule that, even though you can do it, but I will judge it as a sin.
Look at Jesus.
What if you have Bible study before you do the threesome?
Oh my God.
That makes it all better.
We fellowshipping.
Yeah, we fellowshipping. We fellas in the same ship called your bed.